Ooh, wasabi guys. I'm going to go over some of the latest spoilers for Hour of Devastation. Some of these I've missed or didn't get to yet, but I'm just going to give my input on some of these cards. And in particular, we have a card that everybody's been losing their goddamn mind about, Rhonas' Last Stand. Now, if you're not familiar with the lore, basically he dies. Spoiler alert. But for 2 green mana, you get a 5/4 green snake creature token. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Who really gives a shit? You get a 5/4 on turn 2. If anything, this is going to be an absolute staple in Limited. I think it's overrated in Standard. I don't think it's going to be as effective as people think it's going to be. A 5/4 with no other abilities for 2 mana. I mean, it's not as recurable. You need to have something that can bring back sorceries, and in green you typically don't play a lot of instants and sorcery recursion, so it is what it is. I think for 2 mana for 5/4 is still great, but at best you're just trying to win the game early on, and usually in green it pays just to wait and play the slow and steady game. Do I think it's definitely going to see play in Standard? Absolutely. It's probably the safest bet, but I think people may be overhyping this card just a little bit. A 5/4, it does basically take away your next turn, especially if you cast this early on turn 2. You're almost not going to have a turn 3, so please keep that in mind. Next we have Uncage the Menagerie. So 2 green and X for search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have converted mana cost X. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. It's specific. I think it's interesting. It puts them in your hand, so it's definitely not Court of Calling or anything near it, but I mean, it's a creature tutor. The fact that you still do have to reveal them is a pain in the ass. It doesn't really... with Tooth and Nail, Court of Calling, you can just put them into play and not really have to worry about your opponent's setting up to stop whatever you're getting ready to do. So I don't think this is going to see too much play. Maybe Commander's its best bet. Then we have a badass demon here. This is the one that Liliana wanted to secretly go to Amonkhet to deal with, Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. He is 3 black, 5 mana, so 8 total. For a flying trample, 8/8 demon with pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, and then shuffle your library. That is ridiculous. That is just insanely powerful. Demonic tutor and a sack outlet. Just pay 2 life to do it. I mean, that is definitely worth it. This gives Griselbrand sort of a run for his money. Maybe not in Modern in terms of how you can win in Modern, but in Commander, I would argue that he's definitely even better than Griselbrand. Just being able to search your library for a card, it fits well in so many decks. So many decks run tokens, so many decks run sack triggers, and he's definitely going to see play in Commander without a doubt. Then we have Earthshaker Kenra, 2 mana red dude, 2/1 Jackal Warrior with haste, and when Earthshaker Kenra enters the battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. It has the Internalize for 6 mana. You exile it from your graveyard, create a token that's a 4/4 black zombie Jackal Warrior. It has no mana cost, and you can only do this as a sorcery. I think it's good. I think it's going to probably see play in Limited, definitely, and might see play in Standard, who knows. Then we have Nimble Obstructionist, 3 blue, 3 and it's blue for flash flying, cycling, a 3/1 bird wizard. Whenever you cycle Nimble Obstructionist, counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. So this is weird. This is like one of the very few instances we have cycling on a card that says that you can do this at flash speed, so it's interesting. 3 mana to do that. Yeah, you're also drawing a card, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It's probably not going to see that much play. Limited is a stretch. Then we have Torment of Hellfire, probably one of the more funnier cards, and definitely going to see Commander play. It's just one of those cards that fits well in all the spiteful decks, and it's 2 black and X for repeat the following process X times. That is just hilarious right there. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Definitely going to see play in stacks. Do you know how many stacks decks just love doing shit like this? Even the ones that can definitely get a whole bunch of mana. This is just going to see so much play in Commander, and it's just hilarious. Yeah, they're going to pay a certain amount of life until they have to start sacking non-land permanents, but if you have the ability to dump a whole bunch of mana into this, your opponents are pretty much going to lose. It's almost like Death Cloud. So this is hilarious. Definitely going to see play in Commander. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. If you enjoyed these spoilers, check out my other videos. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I do top 10s, I do deck techs, I do rants, I do other things. So please check out those videos and subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share this video. Anyway, signing off. Thanks for watching, Void Mage Gamer.